1st, Andrew Tate got arrested. Watch this.
I'm right. Well, you want to play these games?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. wait. Andrew Tate got arrested. I'm sorry. But this clip is not from Andrew Tate getting arrested. It's from 2025, where he begged the police to arrest him.
I'm right here in Miami. I'm right here in Miami. Come get me. Arrest me. Perp walk me. Put me on the news. Tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me. Raid my house. Take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me. Arrest me. Let's do this all over again. Well, you want to play?
So they did, you know? So they were like, oh, okay, sure. 2026. This just happened.
Come over here by me. Let's go.
So Justin Waller walks up to Andrew Tate to take off his necklaces and his earrings and to take his jewelry off of him. Listen, this bubble loves a skinny jean, okay? This bubble loves a skinny jean. And of course, this picture right here is going infamously viral because, you know, this is Andrew Tate's fit. And look, I love a femme fit on a man, okay? I love a femme fit on a man, okay? But, you know, he is getting dragged for this fit, let me tell you.
Back up.
Okay, so they're basically collecting him. Chaz says Shirley has money to get tailored trousers. How dare you? They're called capris. How dare you? Andrew Tate is very tailored. Are you kidding me? This man spends money on his clothes. They're called capris, and we're here for them, okay? I love a capri on a man. I wish more men would dress a little bit more femme, honest. But, okay, don't talk. This, trust me, Andrew Tate spends the money. Chaz is collecting himself like he's being picked up from school. He's being picked up to go to school, let me tell you. Kind of insane. But there are new charges, and they include rape and trafficking. It's like a very big deal. So, like, all jokes aside, this is a big deal.
You'll be able to pull it up some sort of. You gotta get this.
Okay, I'm gonna forward it a little bit. So it takes a while. They finally arrest him and put him in. Now, okay, this video is not the update of the news story that he did get arrested on more rape charges. Him and his brother Tristan Tate. Okay, that's terrible. What I instead want to use this as is a jumping off point to another bubble of red pill man that I think is the same. So Andrew Tate rose to prominence and fame, selling basically courses and narratives around gender dynamics. And men on the internet ate it up. And the men on the internet who ate it up, example, this man right here. Now, if you don't know who he is, don't worry, I'll tell you. So check this out. It says he's a chef, okay?
I said good morning! Good morning!
My name is Chef Will Porter, and we are here in Gilbert, Arizona at Sablé Boulangerie. Sablé is very special because, first off, all of the products are made in the middle of the night for the next.
Okay, so just for context, this him. This is the same man. This is the same man that you see here. See this? See this? See this?
Day, we don't make.
Okay, you see this? You see this? Now you see this. You see this? You see this?
Anything frozen, everything is from scratch and made by hand. We make a very.
Now you're saying, but Brittany, so he got pretty. Who cares? Let me show you this.
Women care more about looks than.
Uh-oh, the volume is so low. So he is being interviewed on Jubilee. And his claim is that women care more about looks than personality. This is this man. This is this man. Okay? This is, whoop, hold on here. This man. You see, you see, you see, you see?
personality.
If you don't know who that is Will Porter. Will Porter is one of the hottest names in pastry chefs, if not chefs in Arizona right now. He owns Sablé, a French patisserie in Gilbert, Arizona. People have been waiting in like 115-degree heat 2 or more hours and spend $70 on 4 pastries and to see this guy. When you think of Gilbert, Arizona, it's extremely suburban. So when I say people, I mean moms. Moms are waiting to see Will. Oh yeah, and I guess buy some pastries. So I don't know who is giving him his professional advice, but going on such a big forum like Jubilee, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes when he popped up last night on this fucking thing where he's identifying as like part of the manosphere and basically saying that like all women care about her looks, like they don't care about a guy's personality. Not sure this was the move, bro. Anyway, his comments are off now, probably for
Okay, now obviously apparently he has like thirst traps. So that's how he makes his content. Please note that this video here where he's like, I said good morning, doesn't that sound like a man who like, you know, demands attention? Like, what do you mean I said good morning? So I'm insinuating, the insinuation is that he said good morning and not enough people said it to him. So he's like, hello, I said good morning. Oh, okay, creepy. So if you go here, okay, so now there's, okay, but now there's memes. Now there's memes. Now there's jokes.
Good morning. I said good morning.
Very traditional French.
I said good morning!
What's that? Good morning.
Okay, because, okay, this goes back to my lol cow conversation. Why do certain people make certain people want to bully them? Now, obviously, bullying is bad. Is there, though, going back to the first video we watched about collective shame, is there an appropriate way that we need to shame collectively people to say this is bad behavior? Okay, this is why my Tyler Catastrophe video, I think, resonated with people but confused people. How do you know you're ethically ostracizing somebody? Because shame is not, I'm not a big fan of shame. I'm not a big fan of bullying. And I do think we should have balances between making fun of Andrew Tate for wearing capris and also encouraging other men to wear capris and also shaming this man for being the way he is and also signaling to people that we're safe or unsafe. Like even with the conversation we covered a few days ago with the homophobia stuff, a lot of people got on TikTok to call these men the B word. But now are you sending the signal to people that like you're using a slur to own men for being homophobic, but now you're using misogyny to own the homophobes? So this is why I think it is interesting when we have these conversations about like what is the best way to communicate what we're meaning to communicate, which is safety to some groups and dislike of other groups, right? So here's an example.
Good morning!
Morning.
So this is our 10th week of being open, so almost 3 months. So raise your hand if it's your first time here. Okay, a lot of people. Oh, first people in line. What time did you guys come?
So of course, like initially people were kind of eating it up. He's like a handsome chef. It's a position of power. Even though we know the chef community, the chef bubble is like inherently like very, very, not inherently like boring, but like toxic, you know, misogynistic, abuse. I mean, if you know anything about chef lore, it is not good. Like even Gordon Ramsay's mentor laughs that he makes Gordon Ramsay, like when he was younger, cry. Gordon Ramsay and, you know, a very toxic bubble, right? So it's interesting to then watch this display of quote masculinity show up on a Jubilee video in which he says, sorry, this is my next story. Women only care about looks. It's like, now Chat said, I bet it's because he got better reception when he looks maxed. I don't know what word to use here. Okay. But here's the thing. That just proves that human beings in general, like when you're put together, organized, make an attempt to look like something. I don't think it's a matter of like people are nicer to him because he's pretty, but that is also true because pretty privilege is real. It's because people are also conditioned to look for certain things in people that signal attractiveness, like looking put together. So one of the things you'll notice is, you'll notice a few things. One, okay, first of all, I'm laughing. I didn't realize this was here. It's that picture of Andrew Tate getting arrested on his video. So now the internet's also making the connection that him and Andrew Tate is the same energy. So you see what I'm saying? they're not just making fun of him because he's put together. You'll notice his hair is it's really product. It's really placed. It's the fact that the internet is making the connection because it's an equal kind of, it's like the same kind of icky. That same kind of icky that made people that made people get so upset with him for being on Jubilee, saying what he was saying about women. Him, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something in us that knows the pattern. So, okay, how do we make sure that we're balanced and that we just don't bully people? Okay, how do we make sure that we make sure that we? Yeah. Chat said it's very much giving the energy he's giving. I think the same thing happened with Tyler Catastrophe, where that video popped off, first of all. So everyone should blame themselves for that, because I always pay attention to which of my videos pop off. And it's because there's something inside of you that all know Tyler Catastrophe pisses everybody off because he thinks he's too good for himself. Tyler Catastrophe has Andrew Tate or this guy's energy where they think they're hot shit and they're not. That's why we don't like Tyler Catastrophe. Not because he's confident, but because he's not. This guy does not exude confidence. Andrew Tate does not exude confidence. Tyler Catastrophe does not. But the fact that there are people in their fan groups who go, oh my God, you just hit a man who's confident. You think this is confidence? This is why the world doesn't understand the difference. Like, of course this isn't confidence, okay? Now, I understand, to be fair, with Tyler Catastrophe, because he's a trans man and he's fat and he exists in a world in which he is not going to be perceived as aesthetically pleasing. There's those people who are worried that's why he's being bullied, and that is true. People were bullying him for that reason too. But I do think it's important to recognize that, like, also there is a part of the population that also doesn't like to watch people be more confident than they should be. Okay?
Finally responded to the hate that he's been getting after appearing on the Manosphere episode, basically bashing women. The chef provided this statement to the Phoenix New York Times. I understand why my participation in a video framed around the Manosphere and Andrew Tate raised serious concerns. I want to be clear. I do not support Andrew Tate, misogyny, or any ideology that demeans women.
Are you sure about that?
Real quick, I want to do a quick poll. Raise your flag if you think Andrew Tate is a good influence.
Net positive.
All right.
Oh, who that? Who is that?
No. Raise your flag if you think clavicular is a positive influence. That's okay. Then don't raise it.
Chef Will Porter has finally responded.
Oh, nice try, buddy. It gets me pumped. I get pumped when I see a perfect example of exactly the kind of faux confidence that needs to absolutely be called out. And we need to recognize it for what it is: misogyny and patriarchal upbringing framework. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a man who looked less attractive according to him and his brain. So he went out and did all this work, okay? Now this is, okay, to be fair, this is cutie patootie. This is cutie patootie. This is fuckboy. Give me cutie patootie any day. Fuckboy, creeper vibes, stalker vibes, hits his girlfriend, murders cats in his backyard. 100% has an art collection that he thinks is really exotic, but it actually is human heads. Do you know what I'm saying? You look like Christian Bale in American Psycho. Why would I be okay with this? Now, on a quick glance, attractive. See, that's the problem with our brains. On a quick glance, we see put together, well-groomed, nice teeth, and we go, oh, handsome. But if you look closer, psycho. If you look closer, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna put you in one of those pastries.
My name is Chef Will Porter, and we are here in Gilbert, Arizona at Sablé Boulangerie. Sablé is very special because, first off, all of the products are made in the middle of the night for the next day. We don't make anything frozen. Everything is from scratch and made by hand. We make a very traditional French menu made with authentic French ingredients imported from Europe. So I'd say those two are the most I'm most proud of.
I heard about Sablé on Instagram, and I have family that lives up here in Gilbert. And so I came out here to visit them, and me and my mom came here because we heard it was really good.
We have a lot of repeat customers who have already done the viral stuff. They waited in line and everything, and they've seen it, and they come back because they order just another plain croissant or whatever it is, because I think that the French tradition of having a really simple baked good for breakfast in the morning, or sharing it with your friends, sharing it with your coworkers at the office is a really nice,
you know what? I might not like him, but those pastries look pretty good. You know, if I had travel money, I'd go to vegan bakeries. Chat said, hold on. Chat said, LLL, incels unironically love American Psycho, which is a gay man's parody of capitalism. This is the proof of divine comedy. Well, I think that's important to pay attention to too. But I think, okay, can I just get deep with you right now? Incels, because they're not deep thinkers, they're not introspective, they actually are instinctually picking up on something that's true. Look, Christian Bale in American Psycho, I'm not going to deny it. He's handsome. You know what I mean? But the thing that is unnerving about his character in American Psycho, his apartment, his aesthetic, the cleanliness, the neuroticism, obviously the murdering people part. But like when you think of American Psycho and you really think about just Christian Bale as an actor and you think about how handsome he is, all incels are saying is that he's handsome. Because Christian Bale's a handsome man. He's been handsome since the Newsies. You know what I mean? He was always a catch. Okay? So when you think about it from that perspective, all your brain is doing is he is handsome, he is handsome, he is handsome, must look handsome. If I am handsome, girls will be nice to me. But then you don't think of the consequences. I say this to my girlfriends all the time. I have girlfriends that are like, who are like one nose job away from being like very attractive. I know that sounds crazy, but just hear me out. Okay. Because there is an asymmetry, let's say, to their face. And if they just got a little thing corrected, they would be like in the corner of your eye, you would notice them because they're beautiful. It's just like our brains do see symmetry. They like our brains like, no, I notice it in people is what okay. But then there are people who don't want a lot of attention. I'm like, if you get this thing done, you will get more attention from people. I think incels don't have enough or the right attention. So they think I'm going to look like Christian Bale to get all the attention, but you don't want all the attention. You want the right attention. Okay. Now I know you might have heard that growing up in conservative bubbles, right? Like, oh, girls, you want to make sure you get the right attention, not the wrong attention. But here's the thing. Most of people's attention is the wrong attention. It's kind of like being a creative. Like, I want the right attention. I don't want the wrong attention. That's why I don't want to go viral or be famous, because that would be the wrong attention. I want the right attention. I want the right audience, the right community, the right coalition, the right da-da-da, okay? So when we have these conversations, I think incels, their brain is seeing even this and saying, oh, but look, he's famous because he looks this way. And look, he's having this experience. And so he is correct. Instead of being wholesome, being loving, being kind, being compassionate, being a good community member, being somebody that people can brag about. Now, as a chef, not only did you just fuck around your personal brand, but you fucked up the brand of the restaurant. They're going to have to fire him. He just sided with a guy, guys. He just sided with a guy who got arrested. He just sided with a man who was just rearrested for sex trafficking and rape. Not only did he just screw over his own career, but he just stopped it. All his fans hate him. All the women are annoyed with him. All of his social media is just run with all of these. Do you know what I'm saying?
Very nice experience. And I think that people enjoy that.
We're just going to try one of everything. That's why I brought both girls, so that we could get just an assortment.
There's a lot of questions and speculation about the line and our process serving people. I want everyone to know we serve one customer every 1 minute and 20 seconds. So we technically are faster than McDonald's. It's because so many people are showing up many hours in advance of us opening that there is a wait. And I wish so badly that we could just serve all the customers at the exact same time. But I think that the customer service, having them take their time, look at each display item individually, ask us questions, that's part of Sablé. And I don't want to trade that for convenience or expediency. Well, the community was in my mind. I love Gilbert, and it was important to me to come back and do this with my family. I was just naturally very passionate about it. So it just seemed like two puzzle pieces coming together.
That haircut's a Nazi haircut. That haircut's not good. It's a fuckboy Nazi haircut.
I was already doing pastry.
Look at it. Nazi fuckboy haircut.
Abroad, and I love it. It's my career.
Yep.
And it just seemed like a natural
The only person who couldn't pull out that haircut is a lesbian. Are you a lesbian, sir?
conclusion.
And I've traveled. I've been to Spain and I've been to Europe, and there is something special about the bakeries and the things that you can get. And so to have that here locally, like, I feel like we're top notch.
I'm over the moon, really. I'm so thankful. It's allowed us to make more food, teach more cooks, participate more in the...
Wait a second. Where does this man hail from? People are saying that's not his accent. Wait, this chat says, how long does it take for someone to get an accent from a different country? Just curious. Isn't he from Gilbert? He didn't have an accent in the Jubilee video. It comes and goes. It's fake. No! Doesn't that remind you of, oh my God, stop. I'm literally gagged.
Community, it's a nice feeling feeding a lot of people. You know, genuinely, we're feeding thousands of people every week. And I'm so grateful that people see what we're doing and they think that it's worth waiting for. It's really beautiful.
I think that's it. Should we open?
Okay, so now, hold on. Let me grab this for you. Chat says, even when you say compassionate and kind, they don't get it. They think those words are describing an empty performance done as a strategy for outcome. Ready? Look at this TikTok. So remember the voicemail guy? Okay, this was around that conversation about voicemail guy. Look at this guy. A shocking amount of women are willing to sleep with you. That's the title.
A shocking amount of women are willing to sleep with you on the first or the second date, but they will only do it if they feel like when they go back to your place, it's not being framed as a guarantee. Oftentimes, what you want to say is something closer to like, hey, I got to go back to my place to take my dog out, but I'm really enjoying talking to you. Why don't you come back so we can continue chatting? Or, hey, I got to go back to my place because I left my stuff in the laundry machine. I don't want it to get moldy or stinky or whatever. But, like, let's keep chatting. Let's keep hanging out. The beauty of something like that is the girl kind of knows what you're doing. She also kind of knows that it's likely that once you guys go back, something's going to happen. Or at least I think that. But because of the way that you framed it, you've kind of given her an out in her head. She has plausible deniability, and she has a literal out. She feels like, okay, we can go back to his place, we can take the dog out, whatever, and then we can see what happens. That ironically makes her more comfortable to end up sleeping with you.
So instead of actually just caring about her agency and being chill as fuck, you pretend to be chill as fuck. And then these men are like, oh my God, why do women not trust me? Why do they think all men are rapists? I don't know, because you're being fucking rapey? Like, this is what I'm saying. What? He's given the playbook. You know what I mean? He's like a pickup artist. He's like 4D chessing how to get a woman to sleep with him. And then women are like, men are just trying to trick us to sleep with us. And men are like, no, we're not. Why would you say that?
Compared to if you were just to say, hey, you want to...
Now, I just want to say, because some people will say to me, like, Brittany, like some guys are doing this to women. Okay, well, girlies, look, you're not a bad person because you fell for a scam. Okay? But like, you don't got to live your life in the shadows. Listen, to me, when I say this, I'm trying to think of all my sexual partners. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been with anyone like this. And I think if I ever got a feeling that I was, I did have run-ins with people that I thought were trying to trick me. And I just like, no. But I think what helped me is like everybody I've ever had sex with, I was friends with. And I think that helped. Now, other people the other day said, Brittany, sometimes it sounds like you're anti-hookup culture. I am anti-unsafe sex culture. Yeah, I'm not anti-hooking up. I'm anti, if hooking up means we're not getting tested and I don't know who you are and you're a stranger, yeah, I'm anti that. I don't think you should be sleeping with strangers. Because I don't think it's on a scale of safe, unsafe. I don't think it falls into the safety category. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you do. I'm saying I recommend you don't. Do we know the difference? I don't think you're immoral for sleeping with a stranger. I don't care if you, there's no moral issue with sleeping with a stranger. It's just a matter of like, for the sake of your mental health, for the sake of everybody involved, I recommend getting to know people slightly or making sure they're in the same group, friend groups. And a stranger is subjective. I don't consider you a stranger if I've seen you 3 times in a row at game night. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying it's too risky. Exactly. I don't care if you, there's no moral issue with you sleeping with a stranger, just zero. I think the issue is just like the time. You haven't had time to get tested. You haven't had time to talk about condoms. You haven't had time to just go through the basics of safety stuff. Okay. Chet says hooking up culture is seeing someone at a bar and then going home with them. No questions asked. Yeah, but like, who does that? In all of my life of being in very sex positive circles, guys, I don't know anybody who really did that ever. Like, I know maybe I can think of 5 people out of the thousands of people I've met throughout my years. I've had like 10 sexual partners. Nobody I knew was doing this. I was in orgy circles, BDSM circles, queer circles, poly circles. Almost nobody was doing this. You have to be in a very specific bubble where this is happening. Like, and with very specific people where this is literally happening, where you go to a bar and go home with a person you have no understanding of. Again, if you go to a bar and my friend goes, hey, this is Susan, and I go, hi, Susan, we're no longer strangers. We're not strangers now. Now I know your name. Now I know your friends. Now I know your hobbies. Now I know your workplace. We're not strangers. A stranger to me, the insinuation of a stranger is there is no way to get back to anybody about this person. Do you know what I'm saying? Chad says, I feel like kink and queer circles typically practice safer sex. We do. We do. That is true. That is true. Queer specific and kink specific circles. Normie gay circles, you got a lot of work on. Okay. Normie bubbles got a lot of work on. Okay. This isn't a Hollywood movie, girls. Okay. This isn't a Hollywood movie.
Go back to my place now. That is way too insinuating. There's actually this guy who went viral recently. It's called the voice memo guy or whatever, the voice note guy. Basically what he did is he sent this voice memo to this girl after like the first or the second date. And he's like, I'm really hoping that we will sleep together on the next date because I'm trying to find out if we have physical compatibility. And it's going viral because everyone's kind of like, yeah, this is a rational thing to think, but you should never say it. Because imagine what it's like for that girl now. Imagine she actually went on the next date with a guy. Imagine how weird that would be for her to show up knowing that you're like guaranteed to go back to his place and then sleep together. That's such an icky feeling for her. Maybe she was more than willing to sleep with you on that date. But now because you've collapsed it and turned it into a certainty, it's so much pressure and it's so deeply unromantic. A shocking amount of women are willing to sleep with you on the first or the second date, but they will only do it if they...
At the end there, he tried to like twist it, like he was trying to look out for the girl or something. That was so weird. Like he's like, here's how do you trick a woman. And at the very end, he's like, anyways, think about being that girl though. And I'm like, what was that ending? I don't even know what that ending was. Just as because y'all aren't too ashamed to talk about anything, people outside of your circles are too embarrassed to communicate anything in depth. Unfortunately, yes. So, okay. So this is why I say we all live in bubbles. We have to have deeper conversations. What's strange to me is not strange to you, vice versa. And this is why I say, like, I want to normalize informed consent. I want to normalize talking about these things. I want to normalize having sex without shame, especially sex that's only sex that's informed consent, and specifically sex that is safe. And that's what I want for people. I want this about friendship as well, girls. Like, you know how back in the day, you remember when the loneliness crisis started and everyone's like, nobody has friends to introduce people to friends anymore. Yeah, but even your friends can be rapists. You just don't know it yet. That's why most of the people who are raped by people they know those people. So, but yes, we should go back to some sort of oh, do you know Bradley? Oh yeah, I know Bradley. He's dating Susan. Oh, you know Susan? Oh, I know Susan too. And then that way, when we talk to Susan or Bradley and Susan go, oh yeah, I know those people. And then we can confirm and we can have conversations. The dilemma is like, no one's talking. Okay. When I was in my early 20s, I was a virgin. Virgin, such a patriarchal word. I hadn't had vaginal penis sex. Okay. And I was, with a guy, and the guy in the group was a guy I had a crush on, but not for dating, for sex. Like, he was a friend, and I kind of saw him as an older guy who was interesting. You know, he was also a virgin until he was 28 because he was Christian, but then he had sex, and he was kind of like dominant. Like, he had aggressive behavior that I really liked. And, you know, now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, but like, hear me out. So I'm like 21-ish. I was 21. I was 21. So I was 21. And we're sitting in a car, and I had been awake for like 25 hours, and I was getting the shakes. You know, I was like I was up too long. And he looked at me, and I had been hinting. Like, at any other time, if he had asked me, I would have said yes. But for whatever, the universe was on my side. God bless the universe. I love her so much, was on my side. He goes, do you want me to get a hotel for us? And I was staying at his parents' house. I was staying with him. He goes, do you want me to get a hotel? And I said, no. And I think he was shocked. I think I was shocked. Because I swear to God, if he had asked me that question at any other time of the night, if he had asked me that question 5 hours earlier, if he had asked me a question that night yesterday, I would have said yes, because I had been hoping he would have been my first. I was kind of thinking like he would have been a good pick. I said no. And then within like, I think a very short time, girls, I don't even know if it was a weekend or a week after. It was very short. I found out he was secretly hooking up with multiple women in the group, sleeping with people, telling them not to tell people. I found out that our whole friend group was like secretly doing stuff that I was like, oh my God, what are you all doing? And it wasn't a kink group. It wasn't a BDSM group. It wasn't a queer group. It was a mixture of gay and straight people hanging out, normie, straight, gay people hanging out at gay bars. That was my 20s in San Diego era. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just like, it was almost like the universe. So this is the same guy who years later, the story gets crazier. Years later, he comes and visits me in Seattle. And there's tension because he's telling shit about me that never happened. And I'm like, why are you talking to me, or talking to me about people? Like, why are you talking to me about me to people this way? I was like, that never happened. He goes, well, it did happen because this is this. I was like, no, it did not happen. And I found he's the guy who I find out was fucking a bunch of women. I said, when was the last time you got tested? And he was like, I know when my dick has a cold. I said, excuse me? I was like, you've never been tested? He's like, no. I was like, didn't you just tell me you've been with over 100 women? You've never been tested? And he was like, no. And I was like, he's also the guy, this is the weekend we ended our friendship. Are you ready? He was a teacher at a school in Europe, and he bragged that his high school students were telling him that he was hot and they'd like to get to know him when they graduate. And I was like, you need to be reported. Anyways, that was the end of our friendship. Never talked to him again. It was over. And I was like, I knew this guy from 21 till 25-ish, maybe. It was maybe 3 to 5 year friendship. And we knew him through people who knew each other. So there was like a big friend group. And then I transferred to my second friend group as an adult. And third friend group. And then that dissolved and that dissolved. That's why I say every time I start a new friend group, there's always a person. There's always people. And that's why I say these men, I bet he loves Red Pill now. I bet this man loves Red Pill. Okay, I just bet he's eating it up. I bet he's absolutely in these bubbles. I bet he's still going around thinking he's old now. He's how old now? He was like 8 years older than me, 9 years older. Oh, you know what's even funnier? This man has been to my parents' house. My parents thought he was a good option for me, maybe. The women in my life, my older like aunties and stuff, they were like, oh my God, have you thought about being with him? Do you think maybe he's a good option? So mind you, this man, my friends were at my parents' house. Like my friend groups, my parents always hosted my friends growing up. Okay? So when we have these conversations, that's what I'm saying. It's not like it comes out of nowhere. These things don't come out of nowhere. It's not like I'm just meeting these people. So again, we need community effort, and we need to know sometimes it's from your own community. That's what I'm trying to say with this whole conversation. So for these men to get up here and make think pieces about girls are shallow and girls are this, while also talking about 4D chess with women and promoting Andrew Tate. And then that's what I'm saying with these men. They will literally take advantage of you and then turn around and tell a story about how you were crazy. Anyways, learn that it can be anybody. And also, don't go around living your life paranoid. Don't do anything out of fear. Have the discernment and wisdom. But also recognize people really have to unlearn so much before we really are good people. And yet, everyone's kind of a good person. But man, we got a lot to unlearn. But I would love to normalize informed consent. I would love to normalize STI dates. I would love to normalize getting tested together dates. That's what I mean by that. I would love to normalize even openly talking about stuff, so people can't weaponize it and be like, oh, do you know she has an STI? It's like, okay, and? Or, oh my God, do you know this app? So? You're not a bad person because you have an STI. What does that have to do with anything? Okay? So again, communication would be great, but not the communication of the voicemail guy who was like, if you don't let me come over to fuck, I don't want to hang out with you. That's not communication. That is a declaration and an ultimatum. That is not a consensual conversation. So again, if you haven't seen me already cover this, I already covered this. The voicemail guy, not communication, not informed consent. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being open, saying, hi, I really like you. Are you interested in me? And then having that conversation. And if somebody says, actually, I'm not sure if I'm interested in you. I think I kind of still have to get to know you. Cool. You want to go hang out? You want to go to a movie? You want to do bowling? You want to hang out with friends? What are you into? Actually talking to someone and treating them like a person. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, there's so many amazing people out in the world. I know you're probably, a lot of you are many of them, right? There's almost 200 people in this room right now. I'm sure a lot of you are amazing people that people would like to get to know. But not for the purpose of fucking, and not for the purpose of stealing, and not for the purpose of scamming, for the purpose of getting to know. Who are you? you know, and then appropriately building bonds and getting into relationship with you guys with boundaries.